All right. I knew it would happen in my watch. All right. No, I'm going to start with a poem about my favorite biblical hero, who, like me, had problems with speaking. So the name of the poem is... You know that story that God asked Moses, okay, I've taken them out, where do you want to go? And Moses, who stuttered, said, meaning Canada, but God did not understand. He said, oh, Canaan, right. So that's why we wound up here. So this is... Spit it out, Moses, I tell him impatiently. Give me the whole word at once. It isn't stuttering, he says, suddenly, clearly. Every letter could go on its own many different ways. I have to be so careful not to say something that those Israelites will interpret in some extreme direction. That's why I needed to get the laws etched out for them in stone. See, I do talk to dead people a lot. This one is Freud. It's called Morning Science. Freud and I have our breakfast together. I'm not even awake and he's already into me about my hysteria and the need to tell all my secrets to our friends. Let me explain something about hysteria, Sig. I try to reason with him. You like to write science, I like to write confessions. So I have pains in my chest every time you attack me, but at least I don't make theories for my perversions that pretend to be true for all times to all folk. Freud pours himself another bowl of dry cereal. He picks up his paper, rustles it, disappears. I can hear him munching from behind the international news. He's the cause of all our problems. Now, the market. I used to go with my mother to pick chickens for slaughter. I don't know how she chose them or brought them to the shoichet, but there they'd be when we got to the shed by the cages, hanging from pegs on the ceiling and waiting to bleed dry. I'd always focus on the plucker's quick fingers, the feathers flying like weightless snow and his fiery touch burning the bumpy top skin that with no effort suddenly resembled my own. Then at home they'd be dissembled, the organs, unborn eggs, all pieces examined, little spleen, fingers of fat, dear yellow feet, laid out on the koshering board, aslant against the wall of the sink. Friday evening we'd meet again in each of the courses, broiled liver, ground together with rendered fat, blurred as separate beings and members, helping me to forget yesterday's origins. Next, the soup, the essence of sacrifice refined, with orbs of yolk and a promise to come. But it was the wings that made it special for me. Put in my plate with a survivor's reminder to fly from the market to the depth of my poems. Thank you. I'm going to end with a poem for now called Spring. Don't let April fool you. It isn't only in the buds that your hope is renewed, but the aromas, the tastes in the air entering your flesh in ways it wasn't awake to know. Close your eyes. Feel the sun play into your pores, recalling how cold you were for so long. How much you depend on the renewal of the world for your own survival. Don't let April fool you. It's not just little truths that poets turn to for lifting their spirits. And it's not only the cruelest months that wake you to your integration with the trees, the snails, the details all around. Think of the months before. The worn light graying your sight from the thought of revival. Maybe it was always there, that hope. And when it comes, you call it April. Don't let it fool you. It's here. Whenever you have the courage to remember it. I'm going to take 1 second more to remind you